I'm looking at the things that are occurring in our world right now and the importance of us staying conscious and centered in the midst of them. Every moment we seem to start to expand and then something is shifting if we're looking at the world of circumstances. So I feel like it's super important this day to talk about our inner world of what's real. Hi, Marie. I'm so happy you're here. Your beautiful piece of art is right over there. I look at it every day. Thank you for being here. Looking at the circumstances that are occurring. Oh, I love it. Birgit's here. This is great. Um, Circumstances that are occurring everywhere right now can knock us a little off center because they're changing so fast. 1 minute we could be out. I actually made it to a restaurant, 2 restaurants in the last week. Was loving it, feeling like back in the world again. And now that's changing. Things are shifting very fast. So wherever we are standing could be a changing, like a shifting plate within seconds, which is why it's so vitally important for us to be steeped in our practice while we're in the midst of all these changes. Because if we're not steeped in our practice, we're going to get knocked over by the circumstances. So I was thinking of something that Reverend Michael says that has been life-changing for me. Many things he says are life-changing for me, but a certain one I've written about a few times, so some of you are going to know it, but we need to review it, which is he has this beautiful saying where he taught me years ago that delays are not denials. Now, when he said that to me, I cannot remember what was happening in my life at the time that seemed like something was being delayed. And when I caught that, the delays, happening of a delay in the world, in spirit, does not mean it's a denial. I want us to look at where that's fitting right now in the world. Because we could look like there's another delay, that we now are being told something else of what we can do or can't do. And if we're looking at it as a delay, we may get stuck in the process of feeling like we're confined again. Then we may constrict again. Second, we constrict again. We then narrow our funnel to spirit because we're not as open and available to catch the miraculous that wants to land. So the priority of catching, wait a second, delays are not all denials. What that means is this, is that spirit is always, always, always in overflow, bringing us more. When we're looking out into the world right now, we may see limitation, we may see constriction, we may see separation, we may see pulling back. Our job as spiritually awake individuals, which each and every one of us are, and we're more awake when we continue to stay in our practice and stay together in it, is that our job is to remember in the face of circumstances, whether individual circumstances or world circumstances, that we are not being denied anything. We're having an opportunity to stand in our truth in the presence of the circumstance. When we slip out of knowing we're not being denied, we're being open and available to stretch ourselves, then we get to know more. So I'm going to give you examples. When I first started writing the book, The Technology of Intention. Hi, Julie. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for having me with you all Monday night. Side note, Julie here invited me to her wonderful book club because I'm so blessed, and I thank you, Julie, that they chose my book, The Technology of Intention, did a book club on it, and then I got to stop in and meet everybody the other night on Zoom. It was great. Thank you so much. All right, where was I at? When I began writing this book, it was a while ago. Marie will tell you, because I probably talked about it quite a while ago. And it felt like the occurrences in life were keeping me, that were absolutely delaying things, whatever it was, whether something was occurring in my life, that I was moving, something was happening with my children, whereas I could at times, and I'm sure I did at times, justify why I didn't have time to write, didn't have time to finish it. Even when Reverend Michael would ask me, where is that book done? There's times I'd be like, this has happened or that's happened. I was caught for a moment in a delay. Now, the truth of it is, there wasn't being denied to me. I got to do my own inner stretch to look at where am I denying myself the fullness of this completion. So whenever we think something is a delay, we get to look and expand beyond it to know there's something being birthed under this circumstance that appears to be a delay that's absolutely going to bring me more in the world because it's not a denial. Now, little did I know that when the delivery of this book came out in the last few months, the priority of it being right here, right now, at this time in human history, to assist more individuals with tools of expansion. I couldn't have believed that or known that years ago when I was just holding judgment on myself that it was taking too long. The beautiful universal truth was that delay, for whatever reason was happening in my life, was not a denial that it wasn't happening. It created within me the opportunity to grow, to keep knowing in the midst of what I think is blocking me, I'm going to choose to grow in it. So when we choose to grow in whatever is before us, then, oh, I didn't get to see, hi, I'm saying hi to more peeps. We get to grow in the stretch. We get to have our stretch in the midst of the circumstance. Then more is revealed that is bigger than we ever could imagine. I got to stretch. And in my stretch, the book was delivered at the perfect time. Who would have known? I didn't know, but Spirit knew. So when it seems to be a delay, there's so many in our life right now that we could look at. I could look outside and think, it's been a year and a half. My house hasn't even started to get built yet. Seems like it's a delay. It's not a denial. It's still going to be built. I'm still going to have a house and a retreat center again. My job is to hold the faith, the unstoppable faith, in the midst of circumstantial evidence, because there's lots of it, and grow all the qualities I must grow in the midst of the circumstances so that there is no denial. It is birthed in divine timing, not my timing, divine timing. And that is a spiritual practice, to know that we could, hi Susan, so glad you're here, to know that we are more interested in birthing our next spiritual growth, our next expansion of our souls, to be more interested in that versus staying stuck in judgment and upset and frustration by circumstantial evidence. Now, let's bring it back to what's occurring in the world. We can see where there's places where it feels like, when are we going to move past what we appear to be denied of right now? I'm going to ask you to ask a different question, to ask a question of what is growing in me in the midst of this time that appears to be denial or constriction, that's really an expansion of my soul. What is appearing that must grow in me so that when I am absolutely moving freely again, that it is delivered without delay? Did you hear that? That was clear and it came through, not of me. What must expand so it is delivered without delay when I'm out again, moving and breathing with and bumping into all of you beautifully, person to person. We are here to cultivate all the qualities so that they are being birthed and birthed and birthed and delivered at the most perfect time. Any delay in our life does not mean it's a denial that it's not coming. Whether you're searching for divine love and partnership, whether you're searching for the most perfect job, whether you're searching for your body temple to be in a certain spaciousness as you want it, any delay does not mean it's a denial. It means I invite you to ask a question of what must grow in me, what must be healed in me, what is birthing in me right now so that my delivery is in divine timing. There's a whole bunch of D's going on today. Did you hear that? Denial, delivery, divine timing is not anything of a delay. We get to get excited about, okay, in this moment that it seems like everything's stopping again, I get to pause in possibility, pause to create space for possibility to land. And when we do that, we continue to bring forth more opportunity for our stretch than getting stuck in anything that looks like a denial. Recently, I have this amazing example of delays are not denials that I have to share with you before I talk about the quality of it. This is a great story. My son, Lucas, he grew up with me riding motorcycles, and he loved riding a dirt bike. So I would say a few years back, he wanted to get a street bike. And he's seen me ride to Agape, leave home, ride to Agape on my motorcycle for years. It's something that we just love to do. So he was looking out he said to me one day, in the middle of college, he said, Mom, I really want a street bike. I want to build one. And I said, really? And he said, yes. I go, Lucas, do you know how to build a bike? He goes, no, but I'm going to do it. And he started watching videos. Every time he'd come to visit me, he was watching videos about these Harley riders that build their own bikes right across the United States together, come back, and this adventure of it. And I was watching him watch this and watch this for over a year. All of a sudden, 6 months ago, he said, I ordered a frame. And right after he got out of college, I ordered a frame and I'm going to start building it right here at his house. I said, great. I love that he wasn't looking out into the world to find something to just like give him the motorcycle. He wanted to create it. Started building his motorcycle. Each week he'd send me another picture. I ordered this part. I ordered this part. I'm learning how to build this. And he was engaged in his vision. He wanted it years before. Anyone could have said it looked like there was a delay. He didn't just think he wanted a motorcycle and it showed up. He started building it. About a month, maybe 2 months ago, he texted me one morning and said, guess what? You're not going to believe what happened today. And I said, tell me. And he said, I went on this site for these motorcycle riders that they were raffling off a bike. He said, so I bought a ticket. 100 people bought tickets. Only one person won. Lucas won a 1943 Harley that day. Went and picked it up in the afternoon, brought it back to his house. And to me, that was a perfect example of fulfilled intention. He set the intention years ago. He could have said to people, still don't have it, still looking for that bike. Instead, he stayed in the creative process of what is it? What's next? What's the next step of this? What do I have to research? He stayed resilient. He stayed courageous. He stayed in the vision of what he wished to create. And one appeared in a way he never could have imagined. I stayed in the vision of the book being done. It came out at a time I never could have imagined. I'm inviting you today to think of what is that in your life right now that you have felt that there's been a denial to it. What is it that you can look at today and think, I am choosing to stay conscious, to know I'm not being denied anything. Whatever it is, a new job, a loving relationship, a healthy body temple, what is it that I, for some reason, have been stuck in that I haven't got this? And look from the positioning of what's possible now for me to be present, to moving forward with qualities that birth, that I create a landing pad for that dream to absolutely land miraculously. One of those qualities, there's a lot. One of them is resiliency. When we want to aim for something to be fulfilled intention, we must be resilient. So, which is what the examples are that I gave you. So I'm going to read on resiliency, page 95, in case you have the book. Says, my intention is to be resilient and unshakable in my determination as I create my life on purpose. Resiliency is being able to stand up after the journey has knocked you down, to stand up again and again and stay the course, even when you may not see the finish line. Resilient people are unshaken by circumstance. They see the bumps in the road, the challenges ahead, and they choose to be unstoppable. Resilient individuals do not let fear stop them. They may pick up the fear and carry it with them if they have to. I've done that a lot, and I'm still doing it. But they do not get stopped by the fear. Resiliency has been defined as the ability to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Our ability to recover, to honor ourselves and heal our hurts, to stay alert to the path of self-love, allows us to build resiliency. All of us have the ability to be resilient. We must choose to practice it. We must choose to practice resiliency in the midst of living a life of fulfilled intention, to stay conscious, awake, and alert to all that's occurring in the world right now. Resiliency is a tool, a practice that absolutely we must cultivate to keep growing in, so that we are unstoppable. I have to read what Lori says. We just read that section last night in our book club. I love that, Lori. Thank you for saying that. Resiliency builds a spaciousness for our soul to expand. Because when we live and you've probably covered that part in the book, Lori, where I say there was a certain part of my life that every day my intention was to stand in unstoppable faith. There was no circumstances that I could see that could tell me what I was desiring so desperately was going to be fulfilled. Looking outside did not give me that. I had to go within and keep cultivating. I'm standing in unstoppable faith. My intention is this. My intention is this. My overall intention is to live in unstoppable faith, even when I cannot see the results I'm wanting. That builds up the place of courage, of resiliency, of seeing beyond circumstances. All of us right now can see beyond circumstances of what is occurring in the world. And we, as awakened individuals, can see unification, can see oneness, can see harmony, peace, a willingness to have bigger conversations so that people's hearts can heal. As we hold that, not looking for it, hold it. Hold it in our hearts that anything's possible. Hold it in our spaciousness within our souls that we're able to absolutely stand available to more being revealed. Hi, Michael. I'm happy you're popping on here. So when we do that, when we're able to absolutely see beyond the circumstances and know the truth. If we don't know the truth, then we're slipping into what's appearing, which isn't the truth, which is something else. So I invite you all to look at what is in my life that has not appeared, what has seemed to be a denial that isn't here yet. And what am I to cultivate in the midst of it so that this circumstance outside of me, whether it's that I'm in my home, can't get to work, whether it's whatever I'm trying to build, that I could stand in my practice and have that lead so that fear is not leading. And that's our practice, what is the pathway to that? So, isn't that a great story about Lucas? I'm sorry, I just love to share that with you guys because it was a super good story. And now he's rebuilding that motorcycle, tearing it apart to still build his own, but he's got a lot more parts to do it. Anyway, that's where we're at. Delays are not denials. It just means we have to stay awake and alert to what we're wishing to create and then actively move forward with it. Julie has a question. How does resiliency apply when there's not a difficulty, but more stagnation? Oh, thank you, Julie. I know it's a good story, right? How does resiliency apply when there's not a difficulty, but more stagnation? Brilliant. So whatever is appearing to be stagnant, Julie, we go under it. What is it you desire that the stagnation is covering? If we can see that something looks like it's stagnant, what is under it that must be healed, then our intention is for that we absolutely hold an intention for whatever it is that is appearing under the stagnation. If we feel stuck, then it could be expansion. Our intention can be to expand, to trust, to know more. And Julie, you know this as well, is that as we get quiet and go within and ask, what is this? What's inside of me that must be birthed to move through stagnation? Steady financial flow. Brilliant. So let's have an intention for that one today. How about this? My intention is to be willing to release anything that appears in my belief system that does not honor. No, hold on. I can't say that. My intention is to release anything in my belief system that would limit my financial flow. That's it. That would limit my financial flow and allow the floodgates of financial abundance to flow through my life with ease and effortlessness. Julie, please write that one down. That was a good one. Because if stagnation is there, it means there's a belief under it that has caused the stagnation. We want to get under the belief, clean that up, and have an ability to ask for what it is we are curious for. And so that the delay does not mean it's in denial. All right? All right, everyone. That's my Thursday fun. I'm so happy you're here with me today. If you hear my snoring dogs, they're right here with us. Thank you for showing up Thursdays. And I will be here next Thursday as well. I'm sorry I didn't post it. This week was really crazy and I didn't get to post it. But I'll be here next Thursday, 4 o'clock. Have a beautiful day. Please get under anything that looks like it's a delay and ask a bigger question so that you can get the fluidity of all that's going on for you back into motion. Yes? All right. Caring for you all everywhere at all times. And hold on. I need to say a prayer for that. Sorry, closing with a prayer today. It just came up. In this moment, in every moment, I just stand in the fullness of life, knowing that it is so good to be alive and present. that I open the door here and now for everyone that's hearing this and those that hear it at a later time, that there's just an energetic field that flows out from us into the world, knowing that there is no delay that looks to be a denial, that we open all floodgates of love, financial abundance, healing, wholeness, opportunities to connect across the world in an unlimited manner of ways. I bless the world and everyone upon it on this beautiful day, and so it is. Amen. All right, all of you. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Thank you, Susan. Bye.